I've now cut up and fitted 1.5 boards of 25mm Kingspan and fitted in between the gaps. I've left this channel that I marked out previously for the utilities. The next step is just place the factory floor back on top. I'm going to start insulating the sides of the van, and I'll come back to fixing the floor down at a later date. For the insulation, I'm using this Dodo thermo liner, which is 6mm, and it's foil backed and self-adhesive. I'll start with lining the wheel arches and inside the panels and also the ceiling. You may want to wipe the panels down inside if they're dirty, so use some panel wipe or isopropyl alcohol and blue roll and wipe the walls down. This Dodo thermo liner is going to act as a sound deadener as well, so once it's stuck to the side of the van, it should cut down some of the rattly noise as you drive along. And after that, we'll then put some of the Dacron 35mm insulation on top of that before carpet lining the van. Here is a wheel arch that we've insulated and used foil tape to put across the seams just to give it a nice neat finish. The foil tape I'm using is dial tape from Screwfix. I've now stuck all the insulation inside the walls of the van. Around the window here, I've put the insulation on here, and I'll stick an additional layer on top there to double up. I've cut and glued the Dacron insulation in position. With inside the panels, I'll leave a little bit of a gap right at the very bottom in case any water does or condensation does collect. It doesn't soak into the insulation. Inside the pillars, I also use one of these cable rods and hook some insulation on the end and push it up right into there best I can. So to fit the Dacron onto the panel, I spray some glue. This just holds it in place, stops it sliding down into the panel. And then finally we get some more and we try and feed it along here. This is the sound of the panel before we put the sound deadening and insulation on. The Dodo mat acts as an insulation and a sound deadener. So now we've used the Dodo mat on the walls of the van, and then we've glued this Dacron on top. If we just do a tap test, it's made the sound a lot duller, and I don't think it's worth putting any additional sound deadening on. The sliding door rail is held on with some 10mm nuts. Water can leak in behind these because they're not sealed, so it's a good idea to spin these off and add some sealant in behind before you fully insulate and carpet line the side of the van. I'm using some of this Soudal sealant again. At the back of the van on the roof there's a grommet that's just held in by paint, so again I recommend sealing that before you close the roof in. If you look down the roof gutter, there are little circle stickers that are placed over these holes. These are for bolting down roof rails. You could just poke through those with your finger probably. they need sealing too. If you've attached anything else to the roof, so for instance this has had a pop top fitted and it's got some Tex screws, I'm just going to put sealant on those to make sure no water's getting through at any point. In the last 2 days we've battened and insulated the floor. We've used the Dodo thermo liner and insulated both walls and the sliding door, and we've also used the Dacron inside the wall panels. I've completely run out of the Dacron now, and I've completely run out of the thermo liner, so that's 10 meters of thermo liner and 15 meters of the Dacron. Need to buy some more of that to complete the back doors. So the next job, I need to start cutting the wood for the side panels here and here and in the back. After I've insulated the ceiling and glued the panels on, I'll then start carpet lining the walls and the ceiling. I've previously completed 2 other crafter conversions, so I make these vans for my own personal use, and on the back of that I also produce furniture kits if anyone wants to reproduce the same conversion I've done. So hopefully by filming the 3rd conversion it will help you understand the process that's involved in insulating and carpet lining the van, ready to receive a furniture kit that I produce and supply through camperlux.co.uk. And in doing so, it answers all your questions, and if it doesn't, please ask in the comments below. Thank you if you've watched any of the videos so far. In the next video we will look at the wall panelling and carpet lining.